right. Welcome back to the Gym Business Coach Podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, joined on a special off-site Iron Circle experience. I don't know, where are we at? The Hogwarts.
Hogwarts.
Here we're in Hogwarts, yeah.
We've got a special guest, Joey Coleman, here, as well as Randy Angston. What's happening, fellas?
Morning.
Good morning. Great to see you all.
Look at this room, man.
This room's amazing.
A little different.
It's very magical setup anytime I'm hanging out with Iron Circle.
Yes,
so
yes.
fitting.
We're excited to have you back again, Joey. The second round, just to clarify, you were out in the Outer Banks, and we had you out here to talk about your first book, Never Lose a Customer Again. Absolute amazing experience. The stages, everybody went home with tons of knowledge, tons of actionable advice. And now we got you back. What are we talking about today?
I'm thrilled to be back, guys. And what we're going to be talking about today is how to never lose an employee again.
Yeah.
So what's fascinating to me is organizations around the world are focused on how do we get more customers? How do we keep our customers? The best way to do that is to have a great employee experience. Because if we have a great employee experience, that makes our customers want to do business with us. If we have a horrible employee experience, well, that will often push customers away faster than anything else.
Yeah, indirectly, how to not lose a customer. Keeping your employees.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, and as being in this industry, in the fitness industry, 16, 17 years now, I will tell you the biggest attrition event is when you lose a coach. You lose a coach, it upsets the apple cart. Clients they don't like uncertainty and change. And let's be honest, they can be going off to a great new opportunity.
Sure.
And you could have an all-star coach coming in behind them, but they still don't like it.
Right.
So what is it? What is that saying? What do they say? Consistency over quality? Like, what is the thing? Like, clients just love consistency. They like to know what to expect.
Yeah, I think humans in general love certainty.
Certainty.
And anytime we get uncertainty that we're not excited about. So there's two types of uncertainty. There's uncertainty that we're excited about and uncertainty we're not excited about. The uncertainty we're excited about is, how is this movie going to end? Oh, I'm going out to the bar tonight. Who am I going to talk to? What might I say? That kind of uncertainty is chosen uncertainty. I've been working with the same coach, with the same trainer 3 times a week for the last 4 years. Now that coach is leaving. Oh, that's the kind of uncertainty I don't like.
That's right.
Because when those things happen, we begin to doubt all the efforts we've put in before. Am I going to have a good relationship with this new coach? Are they going to push me the same way? Are they going to understand the types of things I like to do? Are they really going to push me, or are they really not going to push me, depending on whatever that client is wanting? And as a result, an employee leaving ends up causing a lot of chaos within the organization. Not to mention, they might actually take some of those folks with them.
That's tough.
Right?
That is tough, yes. So we got, in our industry, fitness in general, right, guys, in these small micro gyms, there's not, as far as employees go, there's not a lot of employees, and there's not a lot of opportunities for those employees. Because if you think about it, and many of you guys listening have very small models, you've got the coaching staff, and then you got the owner. Like, there's not a lot in between. Maybe there's a manager, director in between, but like, man, what do gym owners do to keep employees? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think you need to have a career path for them. And most of us think of a career path as a ladder. Well, I have this title, I'm the junior person, then I'm the senior person, then I get promoted to the manager, then I get promoted to director. Mm-hmm. In a flatter organization where you might only have 2 or 3 coaches and a director, and then you're the owner, once they hit director, what are they supposed to do? Become owner next? Like that, and the reality is, many of them, that might be the path for them.
Right.
And that might be the opportunity for you to say, oh, there is an opportunity to unlock a level above director that is part owner of a new location that we're going to open, or something like that. But even if you're not able to give them a title bump or a positional bump, we still need to be doing career growth and development. We still need to be saying, we are invested in your career. We're invested in next year being better than last year. We're invested in making you feel that you have that sense of growth and learning. Because we talked about certainty and uncertainty. Mm-hmm. Tony Robbins talks about the 6 human needs, right? Mm-hmm. One of them is certainty, one is uncertainty, but another one is growth and learning. Okay. And so if we help humans feel like they're on a path for growth and learning, even if that's not a title bump, even if it's not a salary or a pay raise, as a result, we can still create the type of things that humans crave.
Beautiful.
Truth. Let's give some context to this, because I think this is one of the topics that you listeners and in the room, we're about to present to, it's going to hit home. In our industry, on average, a coach enters and leaves the industry within 12 months. And so obviously, you're going to have plenty to say about how to prevent that and the skill sets development and all of that you're getting into. But in a industry where it is so volatile, if you think about that, how if we could get into maybe just the tip of the iceberg, how can we help prevent some of that turnover, some of that change? Again, even though there isn't the opportunity for expansion or promotions and things along those lines, what, more in the leadership and the development side, like how can we kind of hone in on that?
Yeah, I think a lot of owners feel frustrated when employees leave. And I understand it. Again, I've had employees leave, and it's incredibly frustrating. What often happens, at least in the conversations that I have with owners, is they're irritated that that employee decided to leave. But when I ask them, what did you do to try to create an environment where they never wanted to leave? They're like, well, I paid them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good for you. You paid them. Those are the ante-up chips to sit down at the table, friends. That's not the thing that's going to keep somebody coming back for more. Like, the paycheck is the stability that they expect. What are you doing to take things to the next level? Are they feeling growth? Are they feeling learning? Are they feeling opportunities? Are they feeling professional development? Are you having conversations with them about what they want? We all grew up, at least, Tim and I, Randy's a little bit younger, but Tim and I grew up in that era where a once a year annual review was, you were lucky if you got one once a year, right? It was maybe once every 2 or 3 years. In 2026 and beyond, if you're not doing regular check-ins with your employees, and I'm saying at least twice a year, if not once a quarter, you're behind. Mm-hmm. Now, before the owners throw up listening to this podcast and go, Joey, I don't have the time to do reviews of my team. How much time do you have to go find new people to work for you?
There you go.
That's my question. How much time do you spend interviewing and recruiting and trying to get somebody to join you? But you don't have 30 minutes to sit down with your coach and say, hey, let's talk about where you want to be 6 months from now. Mm-hmm. Not just, hey, I'm still training the same people I'm training. That's great. That's important. Where do you want to be personally? What are you trying to accomplish in your life? With my team, we do this once every 6 months. We sit down and we say, okay, where are you going? And I want to know professional and personal.
Sure.
So I've got an employee who's going to be moving later this year. So a big part of our conversation is, what is the move going to do as it relates to your work? Now, she works remotely, so the move isn't really going to affect the business, but what are the aspects of the move that are going to cause stress in her life, are going to cause challenges in her life, and how can I, as the remover of obstacles, because that's what I think the job of the owner is. Yeah. You're the remover of obstacles. So many owners are like, oh, you don't understand. I'm the one in control. I'm dictating the vision. Yeah, great. That's neat and interesting. But the piece that the employees care about is, are you the remover of obstacles? Sure. It's fitting that we say that in the Harry Potter room, right? Yeah. What are you doing to wave your wand as the owner and make the things that are in front of them disappear? The things that are blocking their growth, impeding their feelings, impeding their ability to be engaged at work.
That's fantastic. So this particular employee, if I'm picking up what you're putting down, you're looking out in front, helping her set up utilities and get the mover set up, and can get some extra help, and right?
Totally. And another thing I'm doing, and depending on when the podcast drops, hopefully she's not listening to this. She doesn't know, but I'm planning to give her a moving bonus. Nice. She has no idea this is coming. But she's moving. She wants to move. She's not moving for work. But one of the people on my team is going through what most folks will say is at least in the top 3 most stressful events you will ever experience in your life. Okay. Now, I've moved every 3 years for the last 20 years.
Okay.
Ooh. So for me, moving is like getting on an airplane, something I do literally every week, right? It's not a big deal. But for the typical human, moving is a huge stressor. A huge stressor. So what can we do as owners? Well, we can put some cash at that. She also doesn't know, but I'm giving her that week off. I'm just going to say, hey, guess what? You're taking the whole week off. But the move will only take 2 days. Great. Okay. You just got some extra days.
Because there's plenty to do after you move.
There's plenty to do after you move. And at the end of the day, her happiness at home directly correlates to her happiness at work.
Yes.
And the same holds true for all of your coaches, for all of your trainers, for all of your directors, right? How they're getting along at home dramatically impacts how they're going to show up in the gym.
Yeah, and that's such an oversight for owners and managers. What's going on at the house? Because, I've said it. Save the drama for your mama. That's what I've said. Leave it outside when you come in. You got to be focused. Whatever. It's not. And I kind of say, it's none of my business what's going on at the house. We should want to make sure you're good here. But we should be involved. We should ask questions. Is everything all right? Just the empathetic side of that. And so I think, even for myself, I miss that opportunity all the time. Because I want to stay out of it. Like, I don't want to get involved with that.
Sure.
Stuff,
and here's the interesting thing, Tim. I empathize with the fact that a lot of owners are like, I don't want to be in the drama you're having with your girlfriend. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be in the drama you're having with your husband or whatever it may be. Yeah. I get it. But this idea that we have one personality at home and one personality at work, respectfully, is a fiction created by business owners.
Thank you.
It's a fiction. And that's
no, it carries over.
There's nothing wrong with fiction. We're in the Harry Potter room. Fiction can be fabulous. However, when you create a fiction and then you ask humans to live in that fiction, it doesn't always work as well as you would like.
I can see it.
And we're also guilty of this. I don't know about you guys. If something's not going well at home, I don't show up the same way at work. Mm-hmm. I wish I did. I wish I could bifurcate those two aspects of my personality. But as a human being, that's incredibly difficult. I think the fine line, to your point, Tim, that we want to walk is we want to be available to our team without inserting ourselves into their lives.
There you go.
Okay, so the distinction there is create the kind of environment where they feel comfortable coming to you and saying, oh, I'm having a problem with my kid. Oh, my dad's driving me bonkers. Mm-hmm. Oh, I've got this issue that's going, my mom just got diagnosed with this. You want to create the space where that's allowed without you saying, oh, how's the family? Yeah. Any health scares recently? How are the kids? Anybody getting into stuff they shouldn't be getting into? You don't want to be pushing into it, but you have to create the space for those conversations.
That's fantastic advice. Well, listen, we have got to get to the other room, but I do want to end on this because I think it's super cool that you do this. On the covers of your books, you got these metaphorical images. And I remember seeing the balloon on the Never Lose a Customer Again. I was like, what's the deal with the balloon? I don't understand. That's not a happy thing to lose a customer. Totally. And then you told me about the new book. So just really quick to end on that, because I think it is super cool how you've pictured like the whole entire thing in one little image. What do those things mean?
Tim, I appreciate that. So Never Lose a Customer Again. The O in the word lose is a balloon, and it's floating away. And that's to represent the fact that the typical customer doesn't flip over the table and scream and storm out.
Hopefully.
They just slowly drift away. Mm-hmm. We fear those that flip over the table. But here's the deal. I'll take those over the one that slowly floats away all day long. Because the one that floats away, you don't realize they're leaving until it's too late to grab the string.
Yes, the silent cancel.
Right, exactly. That's the bigger threat. So in Never Lose an Employee Again, the O is an ice cream cone that has fallen on the ground. And the reason I chose that is the employees, if we pay attention, are the sweetest part of our business. They're the part that make everything work. They're the part that, allow us to serve our customers, allow us to achieve our goals, allow us to make the money. What often happens, though, is when we come to think that an employee is going to leave. An employee either gives their 2 weeks notice or things get rocky. What do? We try to save it as much as we can. Oh my gosh, but I'll give you more money. I'll give you a promotion now. I'll care about you now. And it's the equivalent of when the ice cream falls on the ground. Yeah. You can try to pick it up and put it back on the cone, but I would not recommend that. Okay.
That's very
3-second rule. I get it. 5-second rule, whatever, 25-second rule, depending on what world you live in. Yeah. I get it. But it's just as flawed of an experience to try to take an employee who's already mentally or emotionally checked out and to try to rein them back in as it is to pick up a piece of ice cream that's fallen on the ground.
That's so powerful. Yeah.
Extremely valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to wrap things up.
Yeah, we got to get back out there. We got a lot to talk about. Joey's got a full day ahead of him, and we got to get him fed. So Joey, thank you for your time. Harry Potter Room, it was awesome to have you jump on real quick and kind of talk about everything. We're excited to have you, man.
Thanks, guys. It's a thrill to be here again.
Thank you again.
All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Until next time, keep changing lives. We will see you on the next one. Bye.